Okay, so my screen visible to you? Yes, Priya? Okay. So we are going to start with the roles and responsibility of a business analyst. So what are the roles and what are the responsibilities of business analyst we are going to cover. So we can see involved planning, eliciting, analyzing, designing, evaluating to ensure successful business and technology solution. So today's agenda is to cover everything from beginning to advance, whatever the day-to-day basis what business analysts do. So here we cover with business analysis, planning and monitoring, and then elicitation and collaborations, then requirement lifecycle management, strategy analysis, requirement analysis, and design definition, solution evaluations. Okay. So here we can see the roles and responsibility, exploring the multifaceted role of business analyst in bridging the gap between stakeholder and technology solution. So what business analysts do? They take the requirement from all the stakeholder. So whenever say about the stakeholder, so it means the stakeholders are those who are the business owner or the employee or the partners, whoever those who are going to affect with those product or services. Okay, so the stakeholder can be a sponsor or can be a partner or can be a business owner or can be an employee or can be a consumer. So any stakeholder. So what business analysts do? Business analysts take the requirement and to fulfill the requirement, they will provide the strategy and to implement those strategy, they will contact to the technology team and the technology team will will build the proper software to serve the solution. Okay. So it helps to bridge the gap between stakeholder and technology solution. And the business analyst defining the primary function of a business analyst as a facilitator of communication and requirement gathering within projects. Okay. So we can see here it's providing a facilitator of communication and requirement gathering within projects. So the major role is the first thing what business analysts do is taking whole requirement from different stakeholders, which aligns with the business goals and objectives. Okay, and the BABOK is the business analysis body of knowledge. It's helps to guide the practices and the standard in the field of business analysis. So this is the introduction to business analysis, definition of business analysis, 6 knowledge areas, value delivery, and the facilitator of change. So what are the definition of business analyst? Is that business analyst is a professional who analyzes an organization or business domain and documents its business process or system, assessing the business model and its integration with technology. So business analyst is one who going to analyze each and every aspect. Okay, like in organization, what are the business domain, what are the documents of business process and system. System means what the software they are using, what are the workflow, assessing the business model. And in the business model, it's cover everything about the channel partner, revenue model, who all are the consumer. Okay, so in business model, it's cover everything and its integration with technology. What kind of technology is integrated? Let's suppose I have integrated CRM with Microsoft email. Okay, so that is the integration of integrating the two tools. And we can see here the 6 knowledge areas. 6 knowledge areas encompasses essential competencies, business analysis, planning, elicitations, requirement management, strategy analysis, requirement analysis, and solution evaluation. So here we can see there are the 6 knowledge area. And in this 6 knowledge area, first is planning and elicitation. So before business analyst going to take each and every requirement from the stakeholder, the first task is business analyst will plan that to whom I'm going to gather all the requirements, And after gathering the requirement, how I'm going to analyze those requirement. After analyzing those requirement, uh, how I'm going to do a proper market analysis and research and providing the proper solution, and how I'm going to analyze the solution, how I'm going to design those solution, how I'm going to validate those solution with the stakeholder. So business analyst will do each and everything with the first thing with planning. And elicitation means gathering, requirement gathering. And after gathering requirement, they will do requirement management. After managing whole requirement, they will find out the insight, and after finding out the insight, they will provide the strategy analysis. And the strategy analysis, we can see the requirement analysis. uh, there is a, after there is a different analysis is also happening in whenever we provide strategy or whenever we have the requirement, we analyze. So after analyzing the requirement, we find out the insight, and we after finding out the insight, we provide the strategy, and after providing strategy, we will analyze every strategy. Okay, and the solution evaluation. So we also evaluate the solution through KPIs, key performance index. And the value delivery is something that business analysts play a critical role in ensuring that project outcome align with business objective, thereby maximizing value through informed decision making. So business analysts, whenever they provide any solution to the business owner, they must have deliver with some kind of value. Okay, let's suppose business analysts provide any strategy to the business owner, and that strategy doesn't work. So it means analyst is of no use and he doesn't give any value. So that's why the business analysts play a critical role. So if a business analyst providing strategy, that strategy should be going to work. So before providing any strategy to the business owners, business analyst examines. They will do a strategy analysis. Let's suppose I have five kind of strategy, and I'm going to analyze those all five type of strategy. And in those five type of strategy, which strategy is going to give a better result? That strategy I'm going to deliver to the business owner. Okay, so that's the part of strategy analysis. And then the facilitator of change. The facilitator of change means as you know that year by year, how's the environment is changing, as political, as technological. Let's suppose the before 2 to 3 year IT is booming, and now is AI booming. So, and the different taste and preference are also changing of consumer. First, people are love to have the outdoor games, but now they having indoor games like PUBG. So they continuously changing consumer taste and preferences. So according to that, business analysts have to recognize the position as a facilitator of change management within organization, guiding stakeholder through transition and adoption to adopt those changes essential for success. So the first part of business analysis is planning and monitoring. So what kind of planning they are doing? So first they will define activities, that each and every activities, whatever they are going to perform, they're going to establish clear actionable activities that encompasses all aspects of business analysis process and ensuring alignment with project activities. Okay. So whatever they are going to do a particular activities, that should be aligned with the project objectives. Okay, and they should identify stakeholders. They should maintain a communication plan, that how they are going to communicate, whether they are communicating via call or they are going to communicate through mail, or they going to conduct a meeting session in Google Meet. So they are making the communication plan, at which time they are going to communicate, at which time the stakeholder are free and they are ready to give all the information regarding businesses. So you have to make a proper communication plan, that in which time which stakeholder are free, what kind of tools we are going to use to communicate, how we are going to communicate, which question, which type of question we have to ask. Okay, so there are the different communication plan, and you have to work on that. And the tools and technique we are using. Tools means we can do a survey. Google Form is kind of a tool, and technique is brainstorming technique or podcast technique or workshop. Performance measure is something KPIs. Let's suppose you are giving an exam and you are getting 80%. So the KPI is your 80%. What is the output? That the whole year you have learned and you have given the exam. So the output we can see that you grab the 80% of the knowledge. Okay, so that is the KPI performance measure we are measuring. That performance measure is something that whatever the business analyst did from gathering requirement to by identifying stakeholder communication plan, each and everything, they are going to measure the performance. That after identifying the stakeholder and gathering the requirement and how much I have boosted my performance. Okay, and monitoring work. You also need to monitor work that on a daily basis, what kind of work I have completed, what is pending. Okay, because without planning and monitoring, if business analysts start, then they might be going with unstructured plan, and maybe for that without planning they they might be, you know, can't fulfill desired strategy or the required solution. Means they won't be deliver their 200% value. Okay, so the business analysis planning and monitoring is very very important. And the second part is elicitation and collaboration. So you are have to prepare for elicitation. Okay. Yes. So about everything, each and everything that you should know about on a daily basis, what's happening with business analysis. Okay. And prepare of elicitation, conduct interview and workshop, gather informations, validate and communicate. So here you are going to prepare for elicitations, and after preparing your elicitations activities, ensuring that objectives and matter are clearly defined. So Priya, are you able to understand each and every part? Yes.
I didn't understand, but आपने ये लेक्चर पहले भी देखा मुझे वो
uh, your voice is not coming.
मतलब given previously
Yes.
आपने मतलब मैं आप आपने मुझे ये लेक्चर पहले भी दिया हुआ है ये लेक्चर मेरा हो गया है
Okay, so we'll also record uh, I have to record this. Okay, record and put in the website, so that's why I'm doing again. Okay, so you can just you know, revise yourself. Okay. Yeah. So prepare for elicitation, conduct interviews and workshop, gather information and validate and communicate. So you can you have to prepare everything, elicitation activities. Elicitation means what kind of requirement what kind of requirement gathering I have to do, and you have to conduct interview workshop. You have to gather informations of collecting the data technique to facilitate the aggregation of meaningful insight from stakeholder, fortifying the requirement database. And validate and communicate is the validation part, and the communicate is ensuring the gathered requirement are validated against business goals, are effectively communicated to all relevant parties for collaborations and adjustment. So, you know, the employees and the owner and the consumer may have different requirements, but all those requirements should be aligned with the business goals. Okay, should be validated. Okay, and After this, we have to communicate for validation part by communicating effectively to all relevant parties for collaboration and adjustment. Requirement lifecycle management is something management requirement. You are managing whole requirement. Okay, from conception to implementation, ensuring all aspect and adequately addressed throughout the project. Traceability is you need to trace each and every part. That let's suppose you have to take a requirement from 10 people. Okay, so you have to trace that how many people have already gathered the requirement. Let's suppose you have gathered the requirement with 5 people, and you are not tracing them that how much people have completed and how much stakeholder I didn't completed. So what happens that you might be on another day, you might forget that how much stakeholder I have met and how much stakeholder left to collaborate with and elicitate and gather all the requirement. So traceability is very important. You should trace each and every part, which ensure the requirement are linked to their origin also. Facilitating oversight and adjustment are needed throughout the project lifecycle. You have to give a prioritizations. Pro- Prioritization means you are giving a, let's suppose you are giving a solution by setting up a CRM software and ERP software. So you have to prioritize yourself that whether CRM software I have to first I have to build a CRM setup or first I have to build a ERP setup. And the approval process you need to approve. Okay, and how you are going to approval process by streamline decision making and secure stakeholder agreement. So you need to take an agreement from the stakeholder. Let's suppose you have gathered the requirement. After gathering the requirement, you have to make a BRD, business requirement document. Okay, in that business requirement, every strategy or every functionality is maintained, and you have to take a signature from the stakeholder. So if the stakeholder will signature on BRD document, it means stakeholder agreed. Okay. So that is the approval process and reuse of requirement. Whenever you stored the requirement, you can reuse later. And the strategy analysis, when you are providing the proper strategy, so first you have to analyze the current business state, current business model. You have to find the gaps. Then you have to find out what are the future state vision, what are the stakeholder future state vision that where they see in the future. Define a clear, actionable vision for future improvement. Provide a roadmap for stakeholder and project team to work towards. Okay, what are the risk assessment? So, what kind of risks have to be? Okay, let's suppose I have given the CRM software for 1 month that it can be completed, but the risk is maybe to make the CRM software setup, it takes more than 1 month, and it affect the businesses. It affect businesses. Okay, so that is the risk assessment.
आपकी आवाज बहुत अटक रही है.
Yes,
हेलो.
I'm audible to you. Yes, from here I think my voice is clear only, and. Strategic recommendations, proposing well-informed recommendations based on analysis ensures that the organizations can effectively navigate toward its desired future state. So after making proper strategy, you have to recommend based on analysis, ensure that the organization can effectively navigate toward its desired future state. Okay. Am I audible to you? So after providing strategic recommendations, there is a requirement analysis and design definition. So analyzing requirement, a critical evaluation of requirement to ensure that align with business objective and project goals, removing any ambiguities. So whenever you gather whole requirement, you have to analyze all the requirement. Okay. and you have to take a modeling technique, visualizing requirement, adding comprehension, facilitating communicating among stakeholder. Define solution option, exploring outline potential solution, provide a spectrum of choices that organization can evaluate against requirement and constraint. So defining the solution option is mean exploring, outlining potential solution, provide a spectrum of choices that organization can evaluate against requirement and constraint. Okay. And validating of design, whenever you provide the design, you have to validate with all the stakeholder whether is aligned with business goals or objective, whether it's aligned with their requirement expectations or not. You have to specify all the requirement, detailed requirement specification, act as reference point through the project, ensuring that all stakeholders have shared understanding of what is to be delivered. Okay. And the solution evaluation, you have to evaluate the solution that you have to measure through KPI that whatever the solution I have provided, uh, it is working or not. Let's suppose I have given the solution of CRM software, and the result I can see that we can have through CRM, we can onboard 100 clients through CRM setup, and we can measure it that whether after setting up the CRM software, are we able to onboard 100 client or not? Okay, let's suppose we have the KPIs and coming that onboarding that we have onboarded the client almost 80 client. Okay, so the 20 clients are left. So we have to identify the limitation of that particular, you know, performance, allow for proactive adjustment and strategic planning. Whatever the we provide the solution, they have some kind of limitations, and we need to improve recommendation. Let's suppose the sales team is not doing well, so we have to hire the subject matter expert of the sales head of the sales department, and they can provide the solution that how to sell the product, and after then we can see the result that we have onboarded with 120 clients. So like this, it's okay. And the summary of business analysis is the business analyst role is bridging the between stakeholder, technology, and business process. It's planning to evaluate and analyzing process for strategic planning to post implementation evaluations. Successful solution, we can see highlighting the necessity of delivering solution that meet business need and stakeholder expectations effectively. And the BBOK framework is concluding with the importance of the BBOK framework as a guidelines for best practices and standards in business analysis. Okay. So we have to, we take the guidelines from the BBOK framework, which helps the business analyst to practice business analysis. So we are done. And yes, Priya, I'm audible to you.
Yes, clear.
Your voice is not coming. Hello. Yes, you are audible. Okay. Okay, so we have already recorded this part and I will upload to the. Okay. So you have understood everything. What is the main business analysis part? What business analyst
Yes,
practices, right?
the responsibilities over 600 with
Yeah.
5 to work.
Yeah. I don't know why in Zoom I'm not getting a good voice from outsider. Means those who are attending the Zoom meeting, voice is not coming. I think I have to check my setting part. Okay, my voice is clear now. Can you speak now?
Yes.
Okay.
अभी आपकी आवाज क्लियर है लेकिन मुझसे का बीच में होता बीच बीच में बंद भी हो गया था सिम कॉल।
हम्म।
तभी नहीं थी वॉइस क्लियर।
Just give me a second. I'm applying Bluetooth. Yes, am I audible now?
यस हुआ।
Your voice still not coming. Just give me a second.
यस हुआ।
Am I audible now?
यस।
Okay. Now you can speak. What challenges you are facing right now.
आई अंडरस्टूड एवरीथिंग व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग। आपकी
Hmm.
वॉइस मेरे बीच में डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था ना कॉल। वो
Hmm.
टाइम पे नहीं आ रही थी और बाद में 1-2 मिनट नहीं आ रही थी।
अच्छा, ठीक है। रिकॉर्ड होके मैं एक बार अपलोड कर दूंगा, तो उसमें आप एक बार चेक कर लेना दोबारा।
हाँ।
ठीक है। और मैं ये लेक्चर वगैरह नहीं कर रहा था, मैं आपको समझा रहा था। मतलब लेक्चर होता है कि इसमें आप पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हो, इसमें आप अपना ओपिनियन बता सकते हो, या कोई दिक्कत हो तो आप सामने से बोल सकते हो कि मेरे को ये चीज समझ नहीं आया, या इस चीज पे मेरे को एग्जाम्पल बताओ।
हम्म।
ठीक है। रिकॉर्ड, इसमें
तो
रिकॉर्ड हो
आपने
गया
ऐसे
है।
किया था ना।
हाँ।
हाँ। ये आपने पहले लेक्चर दिया हुआ है ना मेरा।
हम्म।
तो मुझे थोड़ा समझा हुआ ही था मैंने सिर्फ एक बार गो थ्रू कर लिया।
हम्म। एक बार और पहले भी समझा, मतलब इसमें मीटिंग लिया था मैं इसका ना, बिजनेस एनालिस्ट का।
क्या।
एक बार और मैंने बिजनेस एनालिस्ट का मीटिंग लिया था ना, इसमें मतलब डे वन का सारा डिस्क्राइब
हाँ।
किया था।
हाँ।
हो गया ये, अब दोबारा नहीं होगा क्योंकि इसका ऑलरेडी रिकॉर्डिंग हो गया। अब डे टू का रहेगा, डे टू का अभी हम डिसाइड करते हैं डे टू में क्या डालना है।
बाय।
हम्म। ठीक है। So we are ending the session. Bye. Have a great day.
बाय।